Okay, DC news. Aquaman. Well, this is kind of movie news, but it includes Aquaman, I guess.
Hmm.
So we know SAG is on strike. We know the Writers Guild is on strike.
Yeah.
Um, so lots of things are being talked about being delayed. I even saw a report that the Marvels, they're thinking of delaying the Marvels. It seems like
Yeah,
a
they're
dumb
thinking
idea.
about it. Yeah, I think they were having meetings yesterday and today about it.
So following today's report about James Wan's Aquaman Lost Kingdom undergoing a third round of reshoots, we're hearing that
200
Warner Brothers
million before
Discovery
reshoots.
may ultimately decide to push the DC Comics sequel back to next year, along with several other upcoming movies. According to Variety, the studio is considering delaying the release of the Aquaman sequel Dune Part 2 and The Color Purple to 2024. Nothing has been confirmed. However, it's worth noting that it's worth noting that said that nothing is that a real sentence? Nothing has been confirmed, however, and it's worth noting that said that releases are moving forward as originally planned and no formal discussions have been had, but the duration of the union battles are completely unpredictable. Last I read, the studios have not talked to the actors or the writers in like quite a while. Have not come back to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah. From what I remember reading, I think it's been over a week and a half, or
Yeah.
like almost 2 weeks, which
Uh,
is fucked.
Given the behind-the-scenes turmoil afflicting Aquaman 2, we've heard it's not great. It's not a surprise. A delay was probably inevitable, but Denis Villeneuve's Dune sequel being potentially pushed back is a little more surprising, and will likely result in a lot more disappointment. These major temples benefit greatly from their starry cast hyping them up, and with actors unable to do any promotion due to the strike, WB is understandably apprehensive about releasing them without a maximum amount of fanfare. This may or may not be the last of the delays. The trade also mentions the Marvels, Napoleon, and Hunger Games could also be impacted by the strikes. Um, I guess if this is just me. If this movie, so if Aquaman's been shot for however many years now, and you already did a round of reshoots, and you knew a potential strike was coming, why wouldn't you have done promotion for like aside from like the Tonight Show or whatever? You can't do that, but a lot of those things are like they do one day, a bunch of interviewers come in, film the interview, and then put it on their platform, right? Whether
Hmm.
it's TV, movies, whatever.
Yep.
Why couldn't they have done that like in context of you're really only talking about the movie and promoting it? Why didn't you have a day already set before this potential strike and just banging out the questions
Yep.
and generalizations and then putting that, other than like live TV, a lot of this
Hmm.
like screen collider or collider, um, other Instagram platforms, blah, blah. I don't know. It
Yep.
just seems weird that they didn't, especially for Aquaman, they didn't plan for this.
I think that's the other thing too is that they didn't plan properly, and they didn't. I also think that they didn't have faith in the first two cuts.
I'm not even sure they have faith in this cut. It would be,
Yeah.
it's going to be even, like, it's not, we have a story about Blue Beetle too on this video, but like the box office projections even for Aquaman have got to be terrible to begin with, and you're going to push it back even further, getting even closer to a possible release of the actual DCU
Yep.
first movie. Superman Legacy might be 2025, but now you're
Which I
pushing
don't
this into
think.
2024. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I suppose now. Well, maybe. Well, I so the James Gunn had already finished the script for Superman Legacy and already cast most of it. So
Yes.
they really probably could just start shooting any time as soon as the strike ends,
Hmm.
depending on I guess what the where the actors are in their contracts and what their
Right.
schedules are like. But um, yeah, it's gonna be even worse if they push it. I mean,
Yeah.
they really they're never gonna make their money back with this either. Um,
Oh, not even close. Like there's just so much money being written off here. It's depressing. Is what it is.
yeah. So speaking of depressing, Blue Beetle box office predictions are also shockingly low. Uh, According to Box Office Pro, the upcoming superhero film is tracking to earn between 12 million and 17 million. Ouch. The domestic box office, if Blue Beetle ends up in that opening range will be the worst opening for a DCEU film since Wonder Woman 1984, which was during COVID, and they also released simultaneously on HBO Max. Right? It had in theaters and streaming at the same time. Box Office Pro also predicts that Blue Beetle will only earn $55 million domestically during its theatrical run, less than half of what The Flash has currently grossed in North America. The official synopsis, we already know this is official synopsis. Warner Brothers considered delaying Blue Beetle with the actor strike currently going on, and the cast of Blue Beetle will be unable to promote the DC upcoming DCU film, which could be a reason for the film tracking so low. Shortly after the strike began, Warner Brothers reportedly toyed with delaying Blue Beetle until after the strike ended so that the cast could properly promote the film. However, the studio ultimately decided against pushing the film to 2024. The decision has yet to be made for Aquaman. I can't imagine the budget for this is that big, though, given it was supposed to be an HBO Max movie.
I think it was originally like 80 something,
80 million,
and then I think it went up to like 100 once they were like, we're gonna make it a movie. I think it got like 100 million.
Let's see. Box office numbers. There's a site that might have this. I don't know if they have the budget yet, but they do not have the budget listed.
Yeah.
So we'll have to check on that after. Maybe the budget will get released, but
very interesting.
Could it make 100 million total worldwide?
I feel like it could. Like I honestly feel
maybe
like
word of mouth. If the movie's actually
it's going to
good,
be word of mouth. Yeah, it's going to be word of mouth. If the movie is half decent and it's a fun time to take your kids, it'll start to track. I honestly feel like they're underestimating the amount of the Latin audience that they're going to attract. Yeah. Like, I feel like people are going to go in droves. I feel like they're going to go with their families.
Are you saying that adding a diverse actor increases the audience from that race? How dare you suggest that?
Listen, we can't all be bend and neck cumber snatches, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a fun movie. I like
if
the
it's
actor.
good, like, you know what I mean. Again, if it's good, if it's an above average movie, and people enjoy it, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it also can't be garbage. And if it's garbage, then no one will go.
No one. Okay. So that's some news about Aquaman and Blue Beetle.